Okie dokie. So, last time I left off, we had a crisis in town. I had avoided purchasing a university because I had not intended this town to last for very long, and that had resulted in a collapse of the educated class. I didn't realize that in one short year of game time, I could go from having a fairly substantial, or at least having some educated people, to having none. The whole game's been running for 6 years. You would assume that teachers that had moved into the area were still teaching, and that we hadn't suffered, what, 5,600 people escaping and 24,000 people dying. I don't under. This is my problem with these games. I don't understand how these things time out. How can they be living for 70 years and they all are dying? 24. Like, this, it doesn't. Is each day a year? Where's the conversion? There's no clear representation. So at any rate, we established a university. We have enough of an educated class. Oh no, there's nobody at the power plant. I had thought that was mostly dealt with, but I guess it's not. That's awful. So we're still importing power. We're still working on returning the educated class to its rightful place. We've got 462, 3,000, 150. So here, let's go. Let's see here. We'll add some. Yeah, so this is when I realized the problem and then imported a pile of people. That's why there's the uptick. And then slowly started to increase again our population. The population will slowly rise back up to, where was this? 7,500? So we're 2,000 down. I'm not going to pay for any more people coming in. We will recover in time. We're running at 230 people working at the plant, which is enough to keep the lights on. Inflation is catching up quick. The things in this game get very expensive very quickly, which is why we are starting to build everything for ourselves. Here's the new construction yard. So, I've already imported some materials: steel, prefab panels, bricks, boards, and some mechanical components, electrical components. We've got some bitumen, which we've imported, and gravel. Have I brought in? I haven't brought in any gravel yet. So let's put in a purchase. So the way this is going to be set up is a train will deliver gravel to this as of yet unbuilt drop-off spot, which will supply this this small aggregate storage facility, and it'll supply these 3 buildings here, which require gravel to function. Now, should the amount dropped off by the train drop below this 60 tons, we'll just import to keep it topped up. So I do expect that I won't be purchasing more in the future, but it is set up as a safety net to ensure that these buildings never run out of what they need. It's kind of funny looking. I mean, that's what it hooks up to. Anyway, onward and upward. We're going to build. We still need to purchase with money some things because we don't have a population here. Although, I think we can build roads. Let's find out. Oh no, but there's nobody working at these 2 buildings. And these 2 buildings, unfortunately, require workers. Not very many. Am I going to bring in people by train for this? Or am I just going to bus in? Or more likely, purchase a van and use a van to bring in. Because this requires 5 people and this requires 5 people. So, 4 vans should cover it. Oh, I need a gas station out here. So, gas station. Eventually, a truck will come and supply that. But until then, we will... Yeah, we'll just purchase it. Oh, would you look at that. Everybody needs gas. Not a surprise. What is... Trolley bus depot? I didn't realize the trolley buses required a separate station. I guess it kind of makes sense. I have not dicked around with trolley buses at all. I guess the benefit is that you can run them on coal. Oh, there's no power out here. Classic. So what are we going to do? We're going to break off from there. Run one back from here. Is there a power? None of this is hooked up. This is hooked up and it's not feeding anything, so we're gonna run a line off of this. This is not acceptable. This is not pretty or good. It is a stopgap measure that's going to go right through the middle of everything to remind me that it is only intended to be a stopgap measure. I'm gonna cross the road. And my gosh, this is an expensive stopgap measure. First, we're going to figure out where is the best place to stick the service station. These don't need power. The gas station and these do. But I'll slab it right down in the middle, more or less the middle. New vehicle type. Fantastic. Well, that's a pretty penny. And the substation is an additional, we're almost up to 2,000 rubles for a substation. Alright, so the gas pumps are pumping, the belts are belting. Oh, here's another belt I haven't purchased yet. There we are. Let's deal with that. Wait. Let's see if we can... To build roads, we have a bulldozer. We need an excavator. And I believe we need a dumper as the bare minimum to do that. Is this the best one? 12 tons? There's another 12 tons. 12. So it's a toss-up between 12 and 12. This one's prettier, but it's way more expensive. It's also slower, so the faster, cheaper truck most certainly wins. Let's see if that's enough. Building is without a power supply. It doesn't need power though. Okay, that's fine. Are you doing it? Are you building roads? What are you building? Here, I don't want unfinished conveyor. Here, hold on. I don't want you doing anything but roads. It's probably got it half full of something and it's ruined it. looking good. Let's buy a bunch more dumpers. Second one in, I guess, will be the road. Construction crew. Eventually, we will purchase pavers and rollers and put asphalt on everything so that things can start driving a little bit more quickly, especially in the industrial area where these moments matter. Don't think the road crew needs a concrete mixer, but we will give them more dumpers and maybe another excavator and more dumpers. Lots more dumpers. So I think, well, yeah, we can move these into other lots as the future goes. But you know, what are you guys doing? Go get your gravel. Deliver your gravel. I think the excavators will come out. Well, yeah, they will come out on their own if they are required. But I'm not sure if they're required, or if it's a bulldozer that'll do this work. Oh. Bulldozer. I think. That looked like one from here, though. Very nice. Yeah, just tons of dumpers, because all they're going to be doing is picking up gravel and dropping it here. Gravel, which magically appears from some other affiliated Soviet state. How much are we paying for it? 15.5-ish rubles a ton. When you just click on something and you click the magic purchase button, you're still purchasing all of the individual components. The catch is that you are also purchasing the manpower. By having these trucks drive stuff around, I'm supposedly not paying for a delivery fee, although I am paying for the delivery fee to get all of this stuff to this point, which is pretty well... It's actually pretty far. I'm importing it from the USSR, or whatever it is in this game. The Soviet bloc. So it is this distance, not this closer distance. This closer distance is a NATO-affiliated country, and I'm not using dollary dues to purchase. So, oh, interesting. The excavators are capable of doing this work as well. Excavators are much better. They, as far as I remember, I believe the amount of work that they produce per day is much higher. Wow. Yeah, having more than one access point for construction would certainly speed things along. Like if this bulldozer could be accompanied, say, by a second bulldozer down over here, that'd be helpful. Alright. So what are we going to do? We need population. So this is going to be a small town with a fancy small town hall. Can I squeeze it in there? I cannot. That's fine though. I'll add in the small town hall later. The town will be concentrated on this side. And I will plan it around... What's that, a small shopping center? Interesting. It's quite compact. 12 tons of food. What does the regular small grocery store hold? 12 tons of food. And it looks to be exactly the same size. Why was I so impressed by that mod? Small shopping center. Maybe it's a tiny bit tinier. It's got more access points for walking. It's kind of a nice thing. Alright. Anyways, we have options for small shopping centers. Keep that in mind. What we need... Well, actually, I kind of dealt with the school problem. I had intended on building a very large school at the center of the new town. That's not even going to... This isn't going to be the largest area. Yeah, these schools are not overrun. They are appropriately staffed. As is the university, which can get started on advanced engineering. I'm going to cut back on the number of professors. I would rather be educating more professors than dumping a bunch of them into research that I don't need yet, but that I can pick away at slowly so it's ready for when I do. So, here we go. What was I checking on? Quick stat check. Population's continuing to grow. The educated population is bloomin'. Building's on fire. Where's the building on fire? Oh, they're on their way. Depot. Depot on fire. Quickly get it put out. Yes, already out. Those firefighters are proficient. Fire is not a threat in this game. Alright, back to our construction site. Ugh, ugly, ugly. Encouragement to replace it. I am going to need to build a new power plant center, and I think it's going to slap in here. Maybe down. I don't know where it's going to go. It might go over here. But I need a new power center, and it would make sense to put it here, as then I can have it directing power out to the various corners where I'm going to be building. The plan is to build this map out, to establish every industry, every production type, and fully staff it, and then fill the rest of the map with redundant production until the game grinds to a halt, or I get bored. We'll see what happens first. I may move on to another game. That happens. But, I don't know. This itches an itchy spot that I had. And, it does some things very nicely, and other things it needs some work. But the way that it's going, quite pleased. So, what kind of apartments? I think I'm going to go with the developer developed. And I wonder if I can... This was an interesting idea that somebody posted. I kind of like to try. I was hoping that these obstructions would cause it to loop. That does not seem to be what's happened. But I do want those two roads, so I'm going to purchase it on the instant and see if that doesn't make any difference. Cool. Cool. Ugh. 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 Alright, well. Nuts to that noise. Game doesn't need to be paused. Game never needs to be paused. Although I say that, and then I suffer a population collapse. While I'm off dicking around doing other stuff. Alright, so back to these very large prefabricated flats. I'm going to have the walkway on the other side of the roads. These things can be right up. No front lawn. We'll start with 2. So these things, the other thing, they're built in stages. So groundworks is the first stage. It will require 222 days worth of workers and then all this concrete and gravel. This is not very much concrete and gravel, but I need the 222 days worth of workers to get past the first stage so that they can deliver more concrete. So you can't just deliver everything, all the prefab panels, all the steel, all the gravel, all in one shot. These things are done incrementally. And this road here seems like the first thing that's going to get done. So this guy dropped off. Doesn't look like there's anything in them. That's bizarre. I'm confused. Maybe it didn't drop anything off. Yeah, this one's got it now. Alright. Very strange behavior. I think... it's a funny chicken and egg problem. I'm trying to think of a way that this can most painlessly be accomplished, and it's kind of making my brain hurt at the moment because I need to... The whole point of this whole area here is to start building things myself from scratch, but you need a population in order to do that. And so if you need workers, they need food and clothing and a place to go chill at the bar and a church and a place to go play soccer. And all of a sudden this whole project becomes kind of big to just be able to supply a couple of workers for this construction site. And I mean, there's a lot of steps in this game. Lots of steps. And I mean, I skipped many steps and just went for the cash route for so much so far, for all of this so far. I haven't done any building. So why would I want to do that? So I keep checking back on the population every now and then. The lifespan dipped down quite terribly for a while, but it seems to be back up. Don't know why. The average age is quite young. We have, well, no, we have not enough clerks for me to be looking at those stats. Fair enough. So, what's the order of operations here? What's the minimum people need? I guess I can lay this... no, I don't need to pause it. Just gotta start laying everything out. Figure out how this is all going to play. Oh, what? Where? Did I put that? No, I did not. It's almost too tight. Not quite too tight. I can't help but build really tight to the margins. Alright, so I guess there's no walkway on that one. They can walk down the road if people need to walk. Clunk. That's clunky. Should I readjust this? Yeah, I will. I see lots of people playing this game. I realize I paid for all of these roads, but whatever. I'm not going to destroy this. This is the more expensive part. Building on the grid, turning on the grid. I haven't turned on the grid once. I was a little disappointed when I even learned that there was a grid in this game that you could turn on and see and build off of. I was enjoying the more organic looks that you get from kind of like this. Like, this isn't a very good organic build, but like, you know, I want curves and alcoves and weird little things. I don't need everything sitting on some OCD satiating grid. I do want a road actually going up there still, though. Where do I? Going down this way. Yeah, the shorter part of the track should be on this side. Although the supply rail will likely loom out that way. So much double guessing. So little planning. I'm not going to put a road up that way through the center. Capitalize on space. I should start using this quick bar menu is something I severely underuse. Oh, no, I want to put it up there. Wait, did I accidentally build that somewhere? No. Here, how does this work? Nope. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can organize this. I had tried messing around with it a little bit, but that's something I build a lot of, or will be building quite a bit of. Oh, these guys are coming back. I guess I didn't need to destroy that road, but I did it, and it's done. So there we go. All right, so onward and upward. I don't need a path there. I need a path off to the side. Need a path there. Up like that. Here. And where's... Alright, well then, do it your way. Nice. Is that enough? It is not. Oop, oop. Still not enough. Doot. Doot. Oh, ugly. Not acceptable. Oh, still more. Finicky, 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 fin. There we go. Beautiful. Works of art. Does that hook up? It does not. Does that one? It does not. So, over on this side, we will have... What is the advantage? Like, 3 tons of meat. I guess that's the advantage. We're gonna have this store fairly centralized. More offset. More offset. We'll likely have more stores down here. This is like the small town that will help build the small town to build the construction sites to build the bigger town. So this side of the tracks is going to be the old town once it's finally built. If that makes any sense. I hope so, because we're running long. 50% long. Thanks for watching.